I want to do an appreciation post for a man named Joe Buck. Maybe you guys have heard of him. Now, I had never heard of Joe Buck when I started working with him about 6 years ago. I'm not a huge sports person. I mean, I grew up in Chicago, love the Bulls, but beyond that, not a big sports girl. And for those of you who don't know, Joe is a pretty famous sports broadcaster, actually one of the most famous, but I didn't know that at the time. I started producing his podcast, working on it from the very beginning with him and Oliver Hudson. So many stories about working with both of them because they're amazing. I'm going to save that for a different post. This post is strictly just to put out in the world how incredibly amazing and wonderful Mr. Joe Buck is. And if you don't know him, if you don't know who he is, if you've never heard of him, or if you do and you don't like him because you think that he doesn't like your team, you're wrong. Working with him is amazing. He's super professional, super coachable. Like if there are things that I wanted him to do or say or ads or that he needed to read, things like that, so agreeable, so easy to work with and so good at what he does. Beyond the professional relationship, as a human being, he's just an incredibly kind, generous, genuine person. A couple of examples. I was out in LA for a work thing when I actually had a job. He happened to be in LA at the same time. I was like, oh, you're in LA. You should come have a drink with me and my sister and the rest of the people that I work with. He doesn't need to come see me, his producer. He has, I'm sure, plenty of other more important people and things to do in LA when he's there for a short time. Sure enough, he showed up, had a drink, hung out, introduced me to Jason Sudeikis. I can't remember his name for a second. He happened to be at the same bar that we were at in LA. This was all like super crazy to me living in Tucson. All the work that I've done with celebrities over the years, it still astounds me, but that's another story for another day. Again, this is just a Joe Buck appreciation post. He was announcing a game here in Arizona. He knows that I live in Arizona. He put tickets for me and a friend at Will Call, just good seats. They were like floor seats. I know they're not called floor seats in a football game, but whatever it's called when you're like down on the field, basically. That's where we were sitting. And then halfway through the game, he sent somebody down to come get me and my friend, brought us like all through the back, through like this felt very important area, and into the box with him and Troy Aikman where they were announcing the game, just so that we could like hang out and see what he does, which was super cool. One of the coolest experiences of my life. Anytime some listener of the podcast would write in and be like, my kid loves you, my nephew loves you, my wife loves you, he would always take the time to give them a shout out on the podcast or even occasionally send a personal email. I feel like he might be my guardian angel, even though he doesn't know it, because it seems like every time over the past few years that I found myself in a hard spot, without a job, lost a freelancing gig, was attacked a year ago, things that kind of like landed me on my ass and really put me in a bad position. Even though he didn't necessarily know about those things, it seemed like right around the time each of these like not great things was happening in my life, he would shoot me a text or call me and be like, hey, I was wondering if you could help me out with this or take care of this. It was always something super simple. And then he would ridiculously overpay me. I'd tell him, please, you can't, like, you don't need to do that. I can't accept this. And he was like, take it. It's already done. Is incredibly generous. Everything I've